Okay, so I mentioned before that sometimes, despite my best effort, things fail. And I also mentioned that I was going to bring you guys along for some of those fails. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're gonna explore a couple of fails in the life of that Paul guy. So, just in case you're not able to tell what that is, that was the bottom of my chair. Now, originally I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and replace the black part there, the part that goes up underneath the seat. I'll remove the shaft, and I'll just stick a new shaft. I'll stick the old shaft into the new bracket, and we'll be good to go. Except, I'm not sure if you can really see how well. Those marks right there are from my several unsuccessful attempts at removing that shaft from that bracket. And you can tell the bracket needed to be changed. So, I told you I was going to include more of my fails. This is one of them. So obviously I have managed to get the chair working again. I was able to get the parts, the bracket, and the piston and everything, put it all back together. I did one better this time. I didn't spend a whole lot on the chair, but the chair itself was in good shape. It was all the workings underneath, and that's because I'm not the lightest guy in the world, which is fine. I mean, the chair is only rated for like 250 or 300 pounds, and I've been using it full time, 8 or 9 hours a day, plus sometimes streaming and making videos, even more than that. So I've gotten quite a bit of use out of the chair, and the chair, I'm sure, was not meant to house my particular physique for 10, 11 hours a day sometimes. So naturally it gave way a little bit and it started to have its problems. So what I did is I made sure that the parts that I ordered to replace it are rated for 450 to 500 pounds. I am nowhere near 450 to 500 pounds. If I get that way, I really don't need to be sitting in this chair anyway. But the fact of the matter is I went ahead and got heavier duty stuff, so hopefully it'll hold up much, much better this time. Okay, you're currently staring at the inside of Son of Fred. I've had Son of Fred for a while. Originally it was Fred. I believe it had like a FX6350 in it, and I rebuilt some of it, and there's, basically the only part that's left, it's original, is the 650 watt power supply that is in it. Everything else has been swapped out. The things that came in this case when I bought this case are those fans up there. I went ahead and bought basically some matching Corsair blue fans, and then of course I started playing around with RGB, so we got kind of out of whack. So the blue fans, they don't change, which isn't my problem. The thing about this that I was going to do is I thought to myself, well, this case is bigger than the Corsair case, and so I was going to go ahead and maybe just put that Corsair 240 mil AIO in there in place of the Cooler Master 120. Except for it's not going to fit up there. And I can't put it here, which would be great, and there's a lot of room, but it would actually sit lower and the hoses would go lower, putting the pump as the highest part in the entire loop. And we all know by now, well, if you don't know, you don't want the pump as the highest part of the loop, because then you might end up with some air bubbles and eventually you're going to wear out the pump. You want to make sure that any other part of the loop whatsoever, any part of it, is the highest point, because water will always come up to a certain point and never go above it. And if you leave air, or air will always go up to the uppermost part, or the topmost part. And if you leave your pump as the top part, then that's where you're going to have problems, and it will eventually break down, because the water does in fact help try to lubricate the pump and make it last longer. Yes, it still does have an old or a Blu-ray drive in it. I'm not going to take that out. I was going to turn this into the server and maybe just get a different motherboard, but the complications with the Corsair case are numerous as well, including not having a whole hell of a lot of room inside that case. And yeah, that's our next fail. Okay, the current Corsair 220T RGB, which I mean it has a lot of nice, bells and whistles and all that stuff. The problem with this case is just too darn small. the cable management and everything is a very big pain in the tail. Trying to take everything out, put everything back in, get all the fans and all that stuff together again. Just such a crap load of a pain in the butt that I didn't even really want to mess with it. Here you can see the AIO, the top part or the uppermost part of the AIO is above the pump, so we don't have any issues there, even though the hoses and everything do go down to the bottom of the AIO. All the air, if there's going to be any air whatsoever after 6 months, a year, or 2 years, it's going to collect in the top of that, and you're not going to have any issues trying to get stuff, you know, your pump's not going to have any issues there. The problem, like I said, with this case is just too darn small. So I think my option for this case is maybe make this the server case. But again, I'm kind of divided. I just wish this case had more room in it. That's fail number 3. One of the other things that completely drives me up a wall about that Corsair case is that it has little thumb screws on the side of the glass panel. So you have to take all 4 thumb screws off to take the glass panel off. It doesn't open up like a door. It doesn't slide off or have 2 of them and then slide into a slot. It's 4 of them, and you kind of hold it while you're taking the thumb screws off. That is a disaster waiting to happen. The other problem is it doesn't have the connectivity that I would think I would rather have on the front panel. There's 2 USB ports, but I think I'd rather have the USB and the Type-C, and the 4000 series case will give me that option. So again, it's an argument to go ahead and just wait till I get the 4000 series case and put everything in that. It's going to have the same fans, same connectivity and all that, and I think I'll be much happier with that case than I am with this 220D, or this 220 RGB, 220T RGB. Now, when I learn how to talk, that's going to be another fail I can get over. In addition to those, I've had issues trying to fix my car. Now, the car's fine. Car's running. But I've had little issues. As it gets older, you want to do those little things like a door switch is trying to wear out of me. So I got a new door switch, and I'm having problems trying to take the old door switch out without having to take the door panel off. I got a thermostat temperature sensor, which is in a different place than the thermostat. So you figure, oh, that's an easy one to change. You just get a wrench, and you pull the connector off, get a wrench, and change it, and everything's fine. Except for my sausage fingers will not fit into that little confined space where I can move the clip and actually get to the wire to pull it off to get, So it has been a comedy of errors the past week and a half, 2 weeks. Not to mention going backwards again with the spider bite wound. So I've had all kinds of fun. Not all of it has been computer related, but it hasn't just been trying to get my hands on a video card, which AMD and NVIDIA continue to try to release new models of that nobody can get. So it's going to be a challenging end of the winter and going into spring. I'm going to have to see how I can get creative and figure out. I have to go back and kind of reprioritize and maybe buy a new motherboard and a couple other things like a smaller power supply or whatever for the server, and maybe I'll rearrange a couple things, and maybe I'll just go ahead and start on the building in that Corsair 4000 case. I'm undecided. If you guys have any thoughts on which direction I should go with that, or if I should just suck it up buttercup and stay with what I got, yeah, let me know. I want to be able to change a few things and have some expandability, but I can't do it in the current LEPA case that I have, the white case that has my current build, and I definitely can't do it in that Corsair case. So if you got any thoughts, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna, if I'm trying to do something and it works, I'll share it with you. And if I have enough of them that fail, I'll put them together and I'll share those with you too. So you got what I got. So that's all I got for right now. If you'd like to see me screw something else up, hey, leave me comments. Let me know what I can try. I'm not beyond reason, I don't guess, or maybe that's my problem. Who knows? Anyway. That's all I got for right now. So until next time, folks, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good, YouTube stuff. And until next time, I will see you later.